What's up, ladies and germs? My name is King Yami, and today we're going to do a review of the latest Samurai Jack episode that aired last weekend. Now, if you're new to this, you should know that I do non-spoilers first, and then I'll tell you when the spoilers are coming for those who don't mind being spoiled or have already seen the episode to know more in depth of my thoughts of the episode. Also, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, catch me on my live streams where I do video game stuff. Right now I'm doing Mass Effect Andromeda with all its glitches and whatnot, so that should be a fun thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive on into this. Now let's go ahead and start off with the good. The good is this episode, like pretty much every episode, was just beautiful. However, unlike the other episodes, this episode was a lot more colorful. It really showed the strength of the artists that are making the show. And I love the new designs that we got to see in this episode. And it was also nicely paced. Had some action, had some exposition, had some action, had some exposition. And it never felt like there was too much of either or, so that was good. Now for the bad. Have you ever seen like a horror film or a movie with somebody escorting somebody and you're just thinking to yourself, man, if they would just leave that person, just go and do their own thing, just leave them, they would be just fine. That is basically what this episode is. Now, if you've seen the preview for this episode, you already know that it's Jack and the Ku sister not really working together. He's kind of protecting her and whatnot, and things ensue from there. I'm not going to go too much further into that, but literally, that's all I could really think of during this episode was that, oh my goodness, why don't you just leave this person? They clearly don't care no matter how hard you try. And there was an actual interesting concept that I didn't particularly was fond of the last couple of episodes, but in this episode it actually played out pretty well. And if you've seen the other episodes, it has to do with him talking to his conscience, trying to decide what is right and what is wrong. Now, I also won't go into too much of that, but it almost kind of felt like the conscience at that time, this time around, was us really talking to Jack, like doing why is he doing this and all this other stuff. So, I will say that this episode, it wasn't my favorite out of the season. That has to go through the last episode before this. And honestly, it felt kind of cliched. And you might be saying, well, it's a cartoon show. It's going to be kind of cliched or whatever. Well, to that point, I would give you that if it wasn't for the fact that this was a darker version of this cartoon show. That it's not really exactly meant for kids. Kids can watch it, but it's definitely more towards adults this time around. So I have to judge it as it is, and it did kind of feel cliched for this episode. Now, I will say that it wasn't like a bad episode per se. Like, there's definitely been worse episodes in like season 3 and season 4. It's definitely not my favorite, so you might be wondering why I said, why is this cliche? Well, it's a story that we've seen so many times. Good guy wants to help the bad person who's trying to kill them see the light in the error of their ways. And it really goes through the entire episode with this. Jack's trying to say, hey, if you could just see the fact that I'm the good guy and Aku's the bad guy, you would totally change your way of viewing. And she's just like, die, samurai, die. And although there are some funny moments with it, with the whole acupuncture thing when they get hit with the needles, kind of wish that was a little bit more explained, but, you know, to each their own. It's a weird world, and they're inside of a monster, so there's that too. I mean, I guess there's really no time for explaining, I guess, in a 30-minute episode. And then there's obviously the end part where you see she's going to try to kill him, but she ends up not because she remembers something or something else happens. You know, that big cliche thing or whatever. And honestly, I kind of wish that I don't know, maybe they had pointed out like something else other than the ladybug thing, or did something else different with that, but to each their own. It still wasn't a bad episode because of these things. It felt like I knew where things were going before it even happened. And also, the thing I loved about this episode was when they showed the little fish monsters or whatever they are. Well, they're not monsters. They're like little beings and things or whatnot. And the thing that actually kept me from going from a 6 to 9, not 6 to 9, a 6 to 5 kind of rating was that last monster and how like creative and good looking that thing was. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in anything or any kind of media. It was pretty awesome. And honestly, with that, that's what kept the rating up so high for me. Now, as far as this being a good episode or a bad episode, like I said before, not the best, but it definitely is not the worst. And I'm actually very excited for the next episode because it seems like we have a return of a character, which if you've seen my top 5 things I love about Samurai Jack, you know I am very excited for. I'm not going to spoil it here for you. If you really want to know, you gotta go check out the next episode preview or whatever. You just go check it out. But I'm super excited because there's a returning character from the series that's coming back that I've wanted to come back. I didn't think it was going to happen though, because I thought too much time had passed. No way this is going to happen. Just no way. But other than that, yeah, this is the review. Let me know what you think about the new rating system, how the review went. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you liked it, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. I will try to be doing these along with other reviews that I am planning on, including this weekend I will be looking at Fast and Furious 8. And be sure to go check that out when I review it sometime this weekend. But until next time, Godspeed, pilgrims. Peace.